Hello everybody, it's Katie here and welcome to my channel, whether that's a welcome back for returning listeners or a welcome for the first time. I'm so happy to be here with you today to talk about embodiment, to talk about this space, this experience, this practice that has everything to do with connection, connecting into self. And as we learn to connect ever more deeply into self, we get to expand beyond self into the world we are all part of. Yes, as the human being that you are designed with all these amazing abilities to tune into the world around you, to listen to what is happening through all your senses, and to respond to this world with ever more skillful action. That's what we get to learn to do here. It's what we get to learn to do here on this embodiment path, to tune in ever more skillfully to the world we are all part of, to tune into self ever more skillfully, and to take all this in, all this information. There's so much information we can ever take in any one moment, and to hold space. How can I respond? How can I take action from the most skillful space possible? And the idea here being, as more and more and more of us humans do this, right? Learn to be more skillful with self in the world, then together we are co-creating this brighter, more beautiful planet Earth that I know you want because you're here listening to me. And if you're here listening to me, that's a good sign that you are one of those people that, yes, wants this world to be brighter, more beautiful, more peaceful, more joyful, holds so much more potential for your own fulfillment. These are the sort of things we're working towards here. And for today, the way I want to work in this space is to bring you into practice. This is one of those videos that I'm recording right after I held circle today with a beautiful, powerful group of women, and I'm just swimming in this beautiful energy and wisdom that we wove together, and I want to bring some of it to you guys here. As I do this, I also want to speak to the fact that I am starting to open circles to the public. If you've heard me talk about this, you know I've been holding this beautiful circle kind of within a network, behind a few closed doors to get there. Really holding that in a sacred, safe space so that we could bring through all that we bring through. And it's a powerful space. But really being called now to open my doors, to open more circles so that you all can join in and we can weave together. We can come into a space of healing our own selves in connection to the world we are part of. We can step into embodied activism, so showing up in service to the world. Do all these beautiful things that kind of live under this embodiment umbrella, this umbrella that has everything to do with connection to self and connection to planet Earth. So look for those details below. If you're watching this about when the time it comes out, those circles will be coming to you in April. So spring 2025, look for them. Okay, but for today, I want to take us into practice. Then we'll come out of practice and, maybe there will be some words to spin from there. But I want to guide you in my favorite practice. If you've done this with me before, then this is an opportunity to deepen in. If you've never done this with me, then welcome. I'm excited for you to join me in practice, in embodiment practice, that has everything to do with grounding into self, grounding into earth, and connecting into what serves to connect to from there. Calling in light, calling in love, showing up on the other side of practice, more fully embodied, grounded, connected, present, centered, and ready to show up for life in the spaces that we are best meant to show up. So with that, we're going to start with some deep grounding breaths. So breathing down into self. So maybe you start by dropping your breath down into your chest, feeling into that 3-dimensional expansion of your chest. Breathing into your chest, your lungs, your heart. Maybe you stay here, maybe you drop down a little bit deeper into your belly, your abdomen, feeling that same 3-dimensional expansion of your abdomen. And as you're breathing deeply into self, I invite you to bring some attention to your seat, to your feet in connection to the surface beneath you. So I'm seated on a chair with my feet on the floor, so I can feel my feet on the floor, my sits bones in the chair, but feeling into that physical connection with the surface holding you, that physical ground holding you, and feeling the sensation that lets you know how you are connected. As you continue those deep grounding breaths into self, maybe you bring that breath all the way down into that connection with your roots. Breathing down into your roots. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you stay here breathing into self, breathing into your roots. But holding space with this invitation, if it opens up for you, to drop down even further. So staying with those deep breaths, breathing even deeper, descending down beneath your seat, down beneath your feet, down into the floorboards, beneath the floorboards, down beneath the structure that's holding you, and down into the earth herself. We're not forcing this. We're holding an invitation, this intention to descend. We're moving into a state of allowing as we allow ourselves to descend. Staying with those deep breaths, those deep conscious breaths. Are you guided down? How far are you guided down? Down into the earth. Maybe image of dirt, rock, roots, soil come to mind. What is here? What is here as you connect into the ground beneath you? Do you find support? Do you find nourishment? Maybe you find fuel. Is there fire down here? What is here for you today as you connect into the earth? Continuing to breathe down into this space. Feel free to hit that pause button if you want to hang out here longer. I'm going to cue us, guide us all to start to rise back up. And anytime I rise back out of any connection with the earth, I like to do so with a heart full of gratitude. So whatever you received from this connection with the earth, reciprocating with a heart full of gratitude, and maybe there's a way you want to reciprocate later or now. Rising back up through the floorboards, through the soles of your feet, your roots, Back up into your body and breathing those deep conscious breaths into your body. Breathing into self. And as you breathe into self, you're bringing more consciousness into self. More of your awareness, your attention is coming right into self. Maybe there's a certain part of self that you're guided into, your heart, your belly. Maybe it's your right shoulder, your head, your neck. If you don't know where to go, I invite you to go into your heart. Breathing into self. And as you breathe consciousness into self, knowing, recalling that you are still connected down into the ground beneath you. You didn't sever that connection when you left the depths. It's still there. You are still grounded. You are still connected as you breathe into self. And then from the space, if it's feeling right for you today, I invite you to rise up. So bringing your attention up through your throat, through your face, maybe through your third eye, into your crown, the top of your head. Don't get hung up on any word I bring your way. I'm bringing you different words, things that might resonate with you. If they don't resonate with you, don't worry about it. But the top of your head, your crown. And as you continue breathing, just as we did with the depths, an invitation to open up. Open up your crown. Bringing your attention above your crown. What we're looking for here is the light. We can put whatever words we want to this light. But to keep things simple, what we're doing here is we're looking for light. That light that comes down from the heights. Maybe you imagine it as gold and white light or bright white light. Maybe you imagine it as a waterfall with crystal clear waters. Maybe it has a certain color. Not getting hung up on the details, but finding this light. Finding this light, connecting into this light. Letting this light speak to you, however it resonates with you. Maybe you have more specific words for this light, but again, it doesn't matter. We're just connecting into the heights. Very simple, powerful connection to the heights. That bright light up above you. And from this open space, if it feels right to you today, allowing that light to descend down through your crown, down into your skull, your mind, maybe down into your third eye, your face, the back of your head, your jaw, your neck. Calling this light down, inviting it down into your neck, your shoulders, your chest. Can you call this light down into your heart? You call this light down into your heart. Breathing into your heart as you call down this light. Remembering that connection you have with the depths, the earth beneath you, the ground beneath you. Breathing now into self. Breathing really deeply into self. Maybe you stay in your heart, maybe you're guided somewhere else. Breathing into self. Breathing into self as you kind of hold this curiosity. Now that you've embodied this light and you've connected into the earth, the ground beneath you, the depths, what wants to happen now? Maybe you're guided to a certain part of self, certain area in your body that this light wants to go to. What's here for you today? What's here for you today? Maybe you get imagery, maybe you get hits of knowing, maybe you feel sensation. Maybe you don't have any idea what's going on, and that's okay. We're trusting in this process. Just hanging out here. Starting to let this come to an organic close. Holding gratitude for the light, holding gratitude for that grounding connection with the earth. Holding gratitude for self, for allowing yourself to do this practice. Gratitude for anything you may have received during this practice. And as you breathe more deeply into self, kind of find your feet on the floor, your seat in the chair, come more fully into self in the room you are in. I want to bring some words to this practice. I know today just took us right in. And I often don't go this deep in these YouTube videos, but felt called to take us into a deeper practice today to, one, give you a deeper look at what I do, what we do in Circle. Here on a YouTube video, silly space, but can be a powerful space. It's a practice that I've learned and cultivated over these past many years, and it's one that I continue to work. It's one that continues to work me, shows up with different gifts each time I do it. Different hits of knowing, different healings, different creative inspirations. More than anything, what this practice is to me is a connecting into self, connecting into that which expands beyond self. And it's a learning process. It's a process of being rewired so that I know and embody these connections. So many of us in this modern world have been taught to live as lone wolves, that we are only connected into our individual selves. And there's just these big, powerful walls up between us and everything else. And if we want to believe that reality, then we will live that reality and we will create that reality. And as most of our beliefs and narratives are based on separation, then most of us are living this reality. And because most of us are living this reality, then this is the reality we experience as a collective, is one of separation. But as we can be in these embodiment practices, like this one, we're doing so much. And I know the more I do it, I just know more and more that I'm doing so much beyond what my mind will ever pick up on. But if nothing else, what we're doing is we're expanding these connections, we're deepening these connections, so that as we move through life, no matter what we're doing, we have that sense of grounding. We have that sense of connection into the earth. We have that connection to the forests around us, to the air we breathe, to the people around us. We have connection to that light, again, whatever that means for you. I experience it as love, as that powerful force that radiates down, that fills us, that connects us, that brings insight, that brings healing, and that keeps us on a path where we are soul aligned, so we are connected into self and we are connected into the world we are all part of. Right? But this is just the beginning. This is just like surface layer of what we're doing here, right? So if you have some ways that you connect in with the heights or the depths, or whatever words you might use for this light or anything else here, put in the comments. I want to know. I want to know what resonates with the way I speak to it, the way that might be a little bit different for you. So it's embodiment work, being really just this vast playground, right? And this is the way I approach it, is with so much playful curiosity. Like, what's here? What's here? I don't know what's here, but I know what's here goes so far beyond what my little mind, with all my education and scientific background and engineering experience, my ability to understand and control the world. Right? My little mind, it really just knows so little. Like, it knows so little. But when I step into embodiment practice, then I can expand. I can expand out, and oh my gosh, there's so much here that my mind is just beginning to comprehend and will never fully comprehend. But that's okay, because I can embody it and I can live it. I can feel it, I can experience it, and I can get hits of knowing, hits of understanding along the way that satisfy my mind to a degree. Mind is never satisfied. Isn't that a quality of the mind? The hungry mind is never satisfied. Always wants more knowledge. Knowing that knowledge serves in the right dose. In a lot of ways, our world can absolutely improve our relationship with knowledge, our relationship with discernment, discerning what is true, what is useful from what is bullshit. Something that our world could really do to serve our world right now. That being in connection to your whole self, mind, hand in hand with body, in connection to the whole web of life. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. So once again, if this sort of playground sounds fun, exciting, powerful, healing, transformative to you, join me. Join me in the upcoming events. The list will be somewhat in the list as it is will be in the notes below. But more than that, sign up for the Upward Slopes newsletter, upwardslopes.com. You'll get a free guided meditation so you can go deeper into this, and you'll get all the information you need to know about circles. So whether you're listening to this when it comes out, whether you're listening to it later, you'll get the updated information. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Again, if this served you in any way, please leave a comment. Let me know. If it's something a little bit more private, more detailed, send me an email. I would love to hear. I always love hearing about the experiences you guys are having over here. And when we come together in this format, a pre-recorded video, it's not like my circles where I can just hear directly from you. And that is how our circles work, right? We get to be in practices like this, and then I get to hear from you about what's alive for you. And then from that space, we get to dance and weave from that space. So it's not just about me over here bringing through what I believe is the best thing to bring through, but it's a co-creation. We get to weave the energy together and go into the spaces that best serve the circle. Powerful stuff. I hope to see you there. And make sure you're signed up on from the newsletter so you know all the details. Make sure you show up to those first events, or if you're watching this later, come to Circle. I'm excited to see you there. As always, make sure you hit that like button, you've hit that subscribe button. Again, leave a comment if something's speaking to you. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and I look forward to catching you in whatever the next spaces that we find ourselves in.